You are looking at the only secret that actually matters in gardening. Most people stare at the leaves, they stare at the fruit, they count the tomatoes, and they wonder why their neighbor, who barely seems to try, pulls in twice the harvest every single year. It is not the sun, it is not the soil, it is not even the seeds. It is what is happening underneath the dirt. Because the truth is brutally simple. If you triple the root mass, you triple the harvest. That is not an opinion. That is plumbing. Bigger roots pull more water, more nitrogen, more phosphorus, more calcium. A weak root system will starve a plant no matter how much expensive fertilizer you pour on top of it. So today, I am going to show you a recipe that costs less than $1. You brew it in your kitchen in 30 minutes. You water it one time, and the roots underneath your plants explode, not in weeks, but in days. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand why the garden center will never ever sell you this in a bottle. The technical name for what we are about to brew is fermented yeast water, but that name does it no justice. What we are actually making is a living biostimulant, a liquid packed with active microorganisms, plant hormones, amino acids, B vitamins and enzymes. It is closer to a rooting steroid than a fertilizer. Real rooting hormone powder, the kind you buy in the little plastic tubs at the garden center, can run you $15 to $20 for a few grams. It uses synthetic auxins, chemicals that mimic the hormones plants use to tell their cells to divide and grow. We are about to do the exact same thing, except we are going to do it for the price of a packet of bread yeast. And we are going to do it with a real, living organism. The hero of this recipe is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. That is the scientific name for ordinary baker's yeast, the same powder you use to make pizza dough. Most people think of yeast as a one-trick pony. You add sugar, it makes bubbles, your bread rises. End of story. That is not even close to the full picture. Yeast is a single-celled fungus, and like all living fungi, it pumps out a cocktail of compounds while it grows. Peer-reviewed research published in journals like Crop Science, Agronomy, and Frontiers in Industrial Microbiology has documented exactly what is in that cocktail. Let me break it down. First, the hormones. Saccharomyces cerevisiae produces two of the most powerful plant growth regulators in nature, auxins and cytokinins. Auxin, specifically indole 3-acetic acid, is the master signal that tells a plant cell to stretch, to divide, and to make a new root. Cytokinins act at the tips, signaling cells to multiply rapidly. When you pour these into your soil, you are flooding the root zone with the exact chemical messengers the plant uses to build itself. Second, the food. As the yeast cells multiply, they release amino acids, peptides, B vitamins, and trace minerals into the water. These are not just fertilizer. They are pre-digested building blocks the plant can absorb almost instantly without having to break anything down. It is the difference between giving someone a steak and giving them an IV drip of protein. Third, the soldiers. A 2014 study in Crop Science showed that yeast cells colonize the root zone. They go to war with harmful pathogens. They release glycopeptides that trigger the plant's own immune system. Your plant does not just grow faster, it grows defended. A study on Mexican maize found that auxin-producing yeasts caused a 1.5 times increase in plant height, fresh weight, and root length compared to untreated plants. A 2024 study on residual brewer's yeast confirmed dramatic improvements in seed germination and seedling development. This is not folk wisdom, this is documented biology. So here is the question that should be bothering you. If this works so well, if it is this cheap, this powerful, this scientifically validated, why is it not on the shelf at every garden center in the world? The answer comes in two parts. Part 1. It cannot be bottled. A bottle of synthetic fertilizer is dead. It is a sealed jar of mineral salts. It has a 5-year shelf life. It can sit in a warehouse in Arizona at 110 degrees and still be the same product when it gets to you. A bottle of living yeast is the opposite. The moment yeast gets sugar and water, it starts eating. It starts producing carbon dioxide. It starts producing alcohol. Pressure builds inside the container. Within a week, you don't have a fertilizer, you have a grenade. The few commercial biostimulants that try to ship live cultures cost $40 to $70 for a tiny pouch, require refrigeration, and expire in months. Part 2. It kills the business model. You only need to know this recipe once. After that, you never buy rooting hormone again. You never buy seedling starter again. The entire profit center of selling small bottles of liquid biology to home gardeners is gone. It is replaced by a packet of yeast you bought next to the eggs. This is why fermented yeast water is not on shelves. The shelf cannot hold it, and the shelf cannot profit from it. So we make it ourselves. Listen carefully, because the small details are where almost everyone gets this wrong. You will need 3 things: 1 liter of lukewarm water, 2 tablespoons of dry baker's yeast, roughly 20 grams, 1 tablespoon of sugar, white or brown, either is fine. That is it. Total cost less than $1. Step 1. The temperature is everything. Your water must be lukewarm, around body temperature. If you stick your finger in and it feels neutral, neither warm nor cool, you are exactly right. If the water is hot, you will boil the yeast and kill it before it activates. If the water is cold, the yeast cells will stay dormant and nothing will happen. There is a narrow window. Hit it. Step 2. Combine. Pour your lukewarm water into a glass jar or jug. Add the 2 tablespoons of yeast. Add the 1 tablespoon of sugar. Stir until everything is fully dissolved. A note on the sugar. The sugar is not for the plant. The plant has no use for raw sugar. The sugar is food for the yeast. It is the spark that wakes up the colony and tells it to start multiplying. Without sugar, no fermentation. No fermentation, no hormones, no amino acids, no biostimulant. Do not skip it. Step 3. The vampire rule. Cover the jar. Do not seal it airtight. Fermenting yeast produces gas, and a sealed bottle will pop. Use a loose lid, a paper towel, and a rubber band or a piece of cloth. The point is to block ultraviolet light from the sun while still letting the gases escape. Ultraviolet rays will damage the active yeast cells before they ever finish their job. Treat this jar like a vampire. Keep it in a dark cabinet or a closed cupboard. Step 4. Wait. Wait 30 to 40 minutes. That is all. You are looking for 2 specific signs. Look for a foamy beige cap forming on the surface and tiny bubbles rising continuously through the liquid. If you see foam and bubbles, your yeast is alive. The colony is multiplying. The hormones, the vitamins, the amino acids are now in the water. Your concentrate is ready. Step 5. Dilute. Do not skip this. Whatever you do, do not pour this concentrate directly onto your plants. It is far too strong. The yeast load is so high it can shock the soil microbiome and burn fine roots. The ratio is 1 to 10. 1 liter of yeast concentrate goes into 10 liters of plain water. Use rainwater, dechlorinated tap water, or any standing water you have. Stir well. Now you have 11 liters of finished, ready to apply living biostimulant. Apply the mixture at the base of the plant. Soak the soil thoroughly until it is fully saturated but not flooded. Do not spray this on the leaves. That requires a different formulation. We are feeding the roots, so we are watering the soil. The best moments to use this recipe in a plant's life are these. At transplant. When seedlings move from the tray into the ground, this is the single highest impact moment. The plant is panicked and looking for new roots. The auxins in your mixture will trigger explosive root expansion within 48 hours. At the start of flowering, when the plant is deciding how much fruit it can support. Stronger roots at this stage mean more flowers held and fewer dropped. And once fruit appears, to support the intense nutrient demand of fruit fill, that is 3 applications per growing season. Do not overdo it. This is not a weekly fertilizer, it is a strategic biological strike. Used correctly, 3 doses across a season is enough to transform the plant. Used too often, you will throw the soil microbial balance out of whack. It works on tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, strawberries, squash, eggplants, beans, and almost every flowering ornamental in your garden. It is especially powerful on anything you started from seed or from cuttings. Within 72 hours of the first application, the plant will look perked up. Leaves stand straighter, color deepens. Within a week, you will start to see new growth. Not just leaf growth, but visible thickening of the main stem. The real magic is underground, where you cannot see it. The root system is branching aggressively. Lateral roots are firing off in every direction. The plant is building the engine that will carry it through the entire season. And in 8 to 10 weeks, when fruit set begins, you will understand why this method has been passed around in the corners of the gardening world for generations. You will pull a tomato off a vine that has no business being that heavy. You will dig up a pepper plant at the end of the season and find a root ball the size of a soccer ball. That is what triple roots do. That is what this recipe does. So here is the bottom line. You do not need a $40 bottle of synthetic rooting hormone. You do not need a $60 subscription to a premium biostimulant. You need yeast, sugar, water, and 30 minutes. The garden industry has spent decades teaching us to look up at the leaves. The truth was always underground. If this video pulled back the curtain for you, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell. On Forbidden Harvest, we go deeper into the recipes and the methods that the big box garden centers will never teach you. There is a lot more where this came from. And before you go anywhere, listen carefully, because the yeast water you just learned about is only step 1. There is a second homemade mixture that works directly with this one. You pair them together and the results stop looking like gardening and start looking like something is wrong with your plants, in the best possible way. I made a full video breaking down exactly how to brew it, how to apply it, and the precise window in the season when it hits hardest. It is sitting on the screen right now. Click it next and finish what we started here. Because growing 2 normal tomatoes and growing 20 monster tomatoes is not about luck. It is not about the weather. It is about knowing the recipes the industry buried. Brew the potion, water your plants tonight, and then watch the next one. The harvest begins now.